What if I told you that we're in the middle of a genetic arms race, where powerful new technologies like CRISPR and artificial intelligence could rewrite the code of life itself, and not always for the better? Today, we dive deep into how this race could change humanity forever, or even destroy the world as we know it. Before we talk about how CRISPR and how AI could end civilization, let's start with the basics. What is CRISPR? CRISPR is basically a pair of molecular scissors. It lets scientists cut and edit DNA, the instruction manual for life itself. Think of it like using find and replace in a Word document, but instead of words, it's your genes. Want to delete a gene that causes a disease? Easy. Replace it with a healthy one? Done. With CRISPR, we can potentially cure genetic disorders, fight cancer, and make people immune to deadly viruses. We're already using it to engineer crops that resist pests, survive drought, or grow faster. It's like agriculture on steroids. But here's where things get complicated. That same tool can be used for things we're not ready for. Scientists can edit viruses too. That means making them more contagious or more lethal. For research, sure. But what happens if something escapes? The CRISPR kits are cheap and available online. You don't need to be a world-class scientist. It's like giving every garage hacker the ability to rewrite the code of life. In 2018, a scientist in China created genetically edited babies. The scientific world was shocked, but the technology was real. And now it's spreading. And this is just CRISPR. What happens when you plug it into artificial intelligence? CRISPR lets us edit life, but now it's being supercharged by artificial intelligence. AI doesn't just help with editing, it optimizes it. What used to take scientists months, AI can do in minutes. AI can simulate thousands of genetic edits, predict which ones work best, and even suggest edits no human would ever think of. Now imagine that power in the wrong hands. Not just curing diseases, but designing humans for intelligence, strength, even turning them obedient. This isn't fantasy. AI is already being used to map human genomes, detect rare mutations, and test synthetic viruses. AI is becoming the co-pilot in genetic engineering. And it doesn't care about ethics, it cares about results. Here's the problem. AI doesn't know the difference between healing and enhancing, between editing out a disease and upgrading a person. Now picture this in the context of global politics. One nation begins designing better humans, others follow to compete. It's a genetic arms race. Military, biotech startups, billionaire transhumanists, all racing to create the next evolution of humanity, not naturally but synthetically. And there's no global rulebook. No one's slowing down. Why would they? When AI makes the impossible look easy, who decides what's too far? And if nobody does, AI might decide for us. We've seen this pattern before. When one country builds a powerful new weapon, others rush to catch up. But this time, it's not bombs, it's biology. The race isn't to build weapons. It's to re-engineer life itself. Major nations are pouring billions into gene editing and AI. Publicly, it's for health and science. Behind closed doors, we don't know. Because here's the truth. The line between healing and weaponizing is razor thin. AI can already design new viruses, suggest genetic upgrades, and test mutations faster than any human lab ever could. And it's not just nations. Private companies and rogue scientists are in this too. Some are driven by profit, others by ideology. Now imagine someone builds a designer pathogen optimized by AI and releases it. It spreads fast, it's invisible, and it's irreversible. The rich might edit their genes to survive. The rest of the world, left behind or wiped out. Genetic inequality becomes biological warfare. And the arms race isn't about bombs anymore. It's about who gets to evolve and who doesn't. Once this arms race begins, it may never stop. Each breakthrough leads to a new threat. Each country forced to respond or fall behind. We've opened the code of life, and turned it into a battlefield. Imagine a future where disease is gone, hunger is solved, and everyone is perfectly healthy, but only if you were designed that way. Designer babies, genetically enhanced for intelligence, strength, beauty, all selected before birth, and everyone else becomes second class. Not by law, by biology. If you weren't edited, you won't compete, you won't qualify, you won't belong. And in a world run by AI, your DNA might not just define your health, it could define your freedom. Predictive policing, gene-based discrimination. AI doesn't just enforce the law, it writes it. What started as science becomes survival. A society split between the edited and the excluded. This isn't a movie, this is the logical end of a race where ethics were left behind. The fiction we once feared is now just early access. When technology defines who deserves to live, everyone loses. In 2018, a scientist in China edited the genes of twin girls to make them resistant to HIV. It shocked the world, but the technology worked. Across the globe, labs are using CRISPR and AI to push biology to its limits. Some want to cure cancer, are looking for the next big advantage. Private companies are investing billions, some are developing treatments. Others, quietly experimenting with human traits, intelligence, even lifespan. There are rules, committees, ethics, boards, but tech is moving faster than any regulation can keep up with AI. Doesn't worry about consequences. It doesn't pause. It doesn't ask, should we? It just optimizes. Many experts are sounding the alarm, warning that we're building tools we don't fully understand and can't fully control. The concern isn't if someone misuses these tools, it's when and how badly. Biotech AI, no borders, no brakes. We're already in the race. The only question is, who's steering? So, now you know. CRISPR and AI aren't just science buzzwords, they're powerful, dangerous, and they're already reshaping the future. But this isn't about fear, it's about responsibility. Because we still have a say in where this goes. We can stay informed. Don't rely on hype and dig into the science. We can support responsible science and real researchers working on safety, not shortcuts. And we can pressure policymakers, push for laws and treaties that protect humanity before it's too late. We've done it before, with nukes, with chemical weapons. We need the same for biotech and AI. The stakes are even higher, because this isn't just about science. It's about what kind of future we want to build and for who. We can still choose, but only if we act. The tools are here. The future is unwritten. Let's make sure we're the ones writing it. If this video opened your eyes, share it. Subscribe for more deep dives. And stay curious, because understanding the future is the first step to protecting it. Thank you for watching.